MSC are probably the world's most controversial cruise line. Some people love them, some people hate them, and some people just love to hate them. I was recently on board MSC Virtuosa, and in this video I'll be explaining the pros and cons of travelling with MSC, and to give you some hints and tips on how you can get the most out of your next MSC cruise. And the first thing to point out was that the Virtuosa was launched in 2021. The ship is very bright and glossy. I know that's not for everybody, but I quite liked it. And there's one thing that every MSC vlog has to show, which is their hallmark Swarovski crystal staircase. We decided to stay in an aft-facing premium suite, and I'll leave a link to the full cabin tour here. As you can see, it is very spacious and well appointed. You can sleep up to 6 people, as there's a bed, a sofa bed, and these bunks too. And heading into the bathroom, there's the obligatory loo, an actual bath and a shower as well, and this funky looking basin. And we were even treated to chocolates and bubbly too. And now it's time to talk about food, which is one of the areas I really see MSC taking a battering for. This is Ola Tacos Cantina. This is one of the specialty dining options on board the ship, which serves a range of Latin American and Mexican inspired dishes. And there is an a la carte or an all-you-can-eat option here. And the all-you-can-eat option is only $17.99 per person. Although please be aware that you can't mix and match. If one person has all-you-can-eat, then everyone has all-you-can-eat. Now there were 6 of us in our party, 4 of which who are huge fans of this cuisine, and the other 2 are slightly more sceptical. But we did manage to talk them round, so 6 lots of all-you-can-eat. There was also a great choice of tequila, margaritas, and beers. And after a fairly short wait, the food started to come out. The Tijuana salad, queso fundido, and El Chapo were all excellent. And next up were the quesadillas, with a choice of beef, chicken, pork, and cheese. And next up was my favourite, the tacos, which there was a choice of pork, beef, chicken, and fish. These were delicious. Then there was a tostada and a burrito for the final of the main courses. The food was amazing, the service was fantastic, weren't being rushed, it was a great dining experience. And the meal was finished off with this amazing ice cream taco. And the buffet on board Virtuosa was fantastic. This is the breakfast buffet, although lunch and dinner options were very similar in terms of the amount of choice available. As it's an Italian ship, staples like bread and pastas were amazing. And here I'm actually only showing one side of the buffet. There's the exact same items on the other side of the ship. Some other cruise ships should take note of this. However, it's food in the main dining rooms which seems to be where some people may have some issues. I had seen criticism for the lack of choice available, but with the choice of a dozen main courses, I really didn't see what the problem was. Half of the main courses will be different each evening, and the other half are always available. I had the bouillabaisse for starters, which had a really good flavour, and the Mediterranean seafood grill for my main. One thing to note is while the meal was really tasty, it was quite a small portion. And after a long day in port, I was still hungry, so I asked for a side of penny pasta, and then promptly skipped dessert because I was too full. And this was the dinner menu for the following evening. and again I found there was plenty of choice. For my starter, I had the cider and onion soup, which tasted about as weird as it sounded. I really should have gone for the octopus. And for my main course, I went for the turkey escalope au gratin, which was perfectly cooked and tasted delicious. And I learnt my lesson about not having two mains, so I had room for this amazing wild berry cobbler. Breakfast in the main dining room is highly recommended. There were so many hot and cold options to choose from. And I can't fault the service in the main dining rooms. The staff were very attentive, and if there was anything that you needed, they were more than happy to oblige. And the next thing I want to mention is the ports of call. Obviously, the itineraries are very subjective, but MSC offer a wide range of cruises, going to ports all over the world. And our first port of call was Portland, down on the English south coast, where MSC provided free coach transfers to Weymouth, which I think was a really nice touch. They could have easily charged for this and people would have been more than happy to pay. And I've not been here before, so I had a great day looking around. And the weather was absolutely perfect too. And the second port of call was Cherbourg, where I booked an excursion through MSC to visit the Normandy Beaches D-Day landing sites. And then we visited the American Cemetery. This 5-hour excursion cost £104, which I thought was really good value. However, please note that there were no rest stops and there was nowhere to get any drinks, so don't forget to bring your own. And now back on board the ship, it's time to look at the entertainment. During the evenings, there was just so much going on. From dance parties in the Galleria to singers in the main atrium. There are also shows in the Carousel Lounge. This one was Ajedrez, which was a high-energy show based around a game of chess. There was a small upcharge to attend this show, although you did receive a free cocktail. And each evening there was a musical performance in the Grand Theatre. These were like West End or Broadway shows. The first one we saw was called Big Apple and shared all the sounds from New York. But my favourite was Italian. I felt that both performances were excellent and definitely on a par with shows I've seen on other cruise lines. Now it's time to talk about where this cruise really suffered, and I'm not going to blame the crew on board who were working hard the whole time. But trying to get a drink on board this cruise was an absolute nightmare. In the evenings we would wait between half hour and 45 minutes just to get around in. They either need many more staff or they need pop-up bars to serve beer and wine. So who do I think would like to go on an MSC cruise? I think they're a great option for somebody that's not been on a cruise before, for families because there's so much to do for the kids, and for people who enjoy being in a high energy environment. I think that MSC is less suited to people who enjoy the formality of classic cruising, or who want to chill out and relax for a few days. Many thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing.